All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to tackle one of the most, let's be honest, misunderstood books in the entire Bible. We're looking at some source material that offers a completely fresh perspective on the very first chapter of the book of Revelation.
Okay, so I want to ask you something straight up. When you hear the words, the book of Revelation, what's the very first thing that jumps into your head? For most of us, it brings up some pretty specific and often pretty intense ideas.
Yeah, is it something like fear or maybe mystery, apocalypse? For a lot of us, that's exactly where our minds go, right? It's seen as this cryptic, kind of scary roadmap of everything that's going to happen in the future, a complex puzzle that's maybe even a little terrifying. But what if that whole idea misses the point, right from the very first word?
Well, the source material we're looking at today suggests a totally different way of seeing it. It argues that the book isn't about hiding things in mystery, but about bringing them into total clarity. And this all starts with taking a closer look at that title word, revelation.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. The original Greek word for revelation is apocalypsis. And you know what that means? It's not to hide or to make confusing. Nope. It's the exact opposite. It means an unveiling, like pulling back a curtain to show you what's really there. A total disclosure.
And that right there, that's the heart of the argument from our source. The book literally tells you its purpose in the first line, to unveil Jesus. So maybe it's not a book about some future scary event or a distant end of the world. Maybe it's a revelation of Jesus Christ, who he is, and crucially, what he's already done. Okay, so if it's about unveiling something that's already happened, you're probably thinking, but what about all those parts that say things are about to happen? Great question. And this brings us to the next big idea, rereading the whole timeline by anchoring it somewhere completely different. So let's break this down. On one side, you have the common interpretation, right? Phrases like shortly come or the time is at hand. We usually think that points to some future end of the world scenario. But look at the other side. The source we're exploring says, hold on, what if those phrases are anchored in the past, in the finished work of the cross? So shortly come isn't about the future. It's about Jesus having fulfilled the law. The time is at hand means judgment was already satisfied. And he cometh with clouds, that's seen as the start of the new covenant. The whole timeline just flips from looking forward in fear to looking back at a victory that's already won. So what? I mean, if all that's true, what does that actually mean for us right here today? Well, the implications they're huge. It completely changes our role from being spectators, just waiting for something to happen, to being active participants in what's happening right now. Check this out. According to this way of seeing things, the kingdom isn't some far-off dream. It has come. We aren't just going to be kings and priests one day in heaven. We've been made that right now. We're actually meant to reign in this life. And get this, in this framework, Jesus' return isn't about watching the sky. It's about a glorious revealing of Christ from within us, through the Holy Spirit. That is a total game changer for our identity and our purpose. And all of this leads to this final incredible transformation. It's a journey that takes the book of Revelation from being a source of fear and anxiety and flips it completely into a declaration of something powerful and encouraging. I mean, just look at the difference here. The old view gives us a book of fear, a letter that feels like it's all about delay, a story about a distant, scary apocalypse. But this new perspective, it gives us a book of fullness, a letter of divine immediacy. It's not about a distant apocalypse. It's about a present reigning Christ. The whole vibe, the whole feeling of the book just changes completely. And honestly, it boils down to this one powerful idea from the source material. Once you see it, you can start walking in it. This isn't just a fun mental exercise, you know? The point is that once your eyes are open to this reality, that Christ is on the throne, the kingdom is already here, and that you are a king and a priest, you can actually start living that truth out right now, today. So I want to leave you with this question to chew on. If this view is right, how does that change the book's entire message? How does it transform Revelation from a book of prediction about the future into a proclamation about the present? It's a pretty profound shift, isn't it? It suggests that maybe the real unveiling isn't just something we read on a page, but something that's supposed to happen inside of us. Thanks for digging into this with me.